could, just for 1 second, take a step back. Take a step outside of your current situation and your day-to-day and get a bigger picture for your life than what's in front of you right now. It is so easy to get caught up in survival mode and to settle for where we're at because it's comfortable. Even though it's not easier to stay in the same place, it's just what you've always known. But today is the day that things start to change for you, that you choose the discomfort of the unknown and the unfamiliar. Life is short. I don't want you to wake up in 10 years and say, I wish that I would have been able to take my family on vacations. I wish that I would have been able to spend more time with my kids. I wish that I would have been able to go on more dates with my spouse. I wish I would have been able to pay off all this debt by now. I wish I would have been able to give more when people were in need. I wish I would have been able to have a greater impact. And so I want you to walk away today knowing that you were made for more. We were not designed to clock in, clock out, retire at 60, and then start living. You need to start living now. So I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to keep your eyes closed. Just forget about reality for a minute, and I want you to forget about what you think is possible or not possible. And I want you to allow yourself to start to dream. I want you to allow yourself to go to a place that maybe you have never been before. And I want you to think about, what would you run after if you knew that anything was possible? I want you to think about what goals and what dreams would you run after if you knew that you could do it. And I want you to know that your past does not define you. And that what other people have said about you does not define you. And your fears do not define you. And your doubt does not define you. You were made for a purpose, and you were made for so much more. And I want you to think about, what kind of person do you aspire to be? What kind of qualities do you want to possess that you don't right now? I want you to think about, if time or money weren't a factor, what kind of life would you live and how would you spend your days? I want you to think about those goals and those dreams, and I want you to attach emotion to it. What is it going to feel like? I want you to let yourself go there. I want you to think about the ripple effect of when you go after your dreams. What are those things going to look like? How are your kids' lives going to be different? How is your family's lives going to be different? Because you decided to do something different. You decided to change things. I want you to think about, what is that going to feel like when you have those funds in your bank account and you can give like never before, or take a spontaneous trip. I want you to think about, what is it going to feel like when you can cross those items off on your dream board one by one. I want you to let yourself get to a space that you have never allowed yourself to go to before. And I want you to dream bigger than you've ever dreamed possible. And if you feel like it's being blocked and that you can't dream any bigger, I promise you can. Remove all the limitations that you've placed on yourself and know that we serve a God who can do the impossible. You were made for a purpose. You were made for so much more. You are an overcomer, and chains will be broken because of you. You have an opportunity to leave a legacy and an inheritance for your children's children. And you are loved, and you are brave, and you are courageous, and you are made for more, and you are set free, and you can do anything that you put your mind to, because your dreams are possible. Okay, you can open your eyes. You guys, I don't want this to just be a one-time experience that you had in this room and then you forget about those dreams that came to your mind. Because God puts those dreams on your heart for a reason. He doesn't put them in your heart so that you can sit around and think about them for the rest of your life. He puts them in your heart so that you can take action and you can turn those dreams into a reality. And so I want you to take your phone out for a second, open up the notes section, or if you have a notebook, take your pen out. And I want you to start journaling and writing just for a few minutes about what were those things that came to your mind. Some of those dreams are things that are not going to become a reality for years down the road. Some of them might happen in the next 6 months. We have dreams on our vision board that have been 8 years in the making and are just starting to come to fruition. When our kids were on Medicaid, my husband purchased the URL Medicaid to Millions because we knew that our lives were going to be changed. You guys, and we are in the process of living that out. There are so many things that you can do, but you limit yourself in your mind. So write out, what were those dreams that came to your mind? And here's something else that I want you to know. Not everyone is going to share your vision. There are going to be people who are going to come in your life and you're going to be really excited and you're going to share your God-sized dreams with them and they're going to laugh at you. There are going to be people who are going to say, you can't do that. Who do you think that you are? Maybe your own head is going to start saying that to yourself. But when other people are telling you that you can't do something, what they are really saying is that they can't do that. They're projecting their limitations onto you, but you don't have to believe them, right? Because any of those thoughts, any of those things that people say, if it's not serving you, you break up with it. You don't have to believe it. You can choose to believe something else. And I would rather dream really big than live super small. You guys, you know, if you're in this room, you here because you know that you were made for more. And I'm not going to hold back and I'm not going to play small because with my dreams and my goals, just because it makes somebody else uncomfortable. Okay? You're probably going to make other people uncomfortable because they're going to start to look at their life and they're going to realize all the things that they aren't running after. But you're not like them because you are going to take action. And so part of this, as you're thinking about your goals and your dreams, there are going to be placeholders, right? As you make a vision board, I really encourage you guys to make dream boards. Like I showed you earlier, all of those things that were once just a vision on our dream board, they are our reality. We have crossed off 3 vision boards so far, and we are working on our 4th. This works and it is powerful. So as you are putting things on your dream board, think about that they are just placeholders for feelings that you want to feel, okay? Sometimes those things might hold a place and you might not do the exact thing that is on your dream board, but the premise of what you wanted is going to be on there. And I want you guys to make this the lock screen of your phone after you make your vision board so that you can look at it every single day. If you were to look at my phone right now, it's my dream board, okay? Still to this day. And I keep updating it and I keep changing it. And so I know sometimes it can be hard when not everybody gets on board with your vision, okay? And because not everybody is gonna understand where you're going, and that's okay. But you don't have to worry about the people who say no to you. You don't have to worry about the people who aren't going to join you. Okay? Can we just like breathe a deep sigh of relief that like we don't have to worry about that? You can't force somebody to join you. You can't strong arm somebody and say, you're going to do this business with me. You're going to take these products. You can't force people. You are only in charge of yourself and your choices and your energy. And so the more time that you spend dwelling on all of these people who are not saying yes, you have less energy to spend on the people who have said yes, right? If you are here, if you've gone silver, how many of you have at least gone silver in this room? Woohoo! Okay, then you have people who have said yes, who have trusted you. You have people who said, yes, I want to be on this journey with you. But if all you're doing is thinking about the people who said no, then you're not pouring into those people who said yes. Be good stewards of those people who are already there with you, right? If you keep worrying about all of those other people, it's just going to drain your energy. And you are going to run out of energy to keep asking new people to join you on this journey, right? What we focus on expands. Don't keep focusing on all the people who are saying no because you'll find more of them. Focus on the people who you want to say yes. Keep asking. Sometimes you're just going to have to come back around and then maybe it will be their timing, but you don't want to stay stuck on this person that you really, really want and that you just know is going to be a dream teamer and change your business. You can't get stuck on those people, okay? Keep asking, keep going, and you will find those people. Okay, when you are running after your dreams, all of you guys have goals, you have dreams, you have things that were on that list that you want to go after, that you want to run after. You have to start being proactive in creating the life of your dreams. If you want things to change in your life, you have to change things in your life. It's as simple as that. Because our minds, right, they are constantly creating those experiences. And so your thoughts, they become words, and your words then become actions, and your actions then become your habits, and your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny, right? Because it all begins in your mind, and so you have to win that battle in your mind first. So I'm gonna teach you guys something that I use all the time as I'm running after my dreams. I want you guys to screenshot this. And I learned these 4 core evaluation questions from my husband. He's a very smart businessman. When I came into this business, I had no work experience. It's not completely true. I worked for 6 months as a barista in college, okay? And I actually never wanted to work. So, but I found this passion, right? This unexpected passion for helping people, for changing their lives. And so every skill and everything that you need to know and to learn in this business, you don't have to come into it already having that. All of those skills I had to learn. I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know how to reach out to people. I didn't know how to manage my mind. I didn't know how to recruit. I didn't know how to have happy customers. I didn't know how to grow a business. But I was determined in my mind that I was going to be successful, and so I set out to learn all of those skills that I needed to. And so as you are going through and as you have your different goals, at the beginning of every single month, right, after we've closed out a month, I go through these questions. I ask myself, what went well that I want to repeat, okay? Because we want to keep doing the things that are working. You've got to ask yourself, what didn't go well, and what did I learn from it? What are the things that you don't want to repeat? It's all a learning experience. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is simply a part of success, right? And so as we are taking messy action, you're gonna have to evaluate and learn and grow. You're gonna have to ask yourself, what could I do differently next time? When I was a brand new silver, I remember I started making training videos, okay, about how to be successful in Plexus. And if you go back and look at them, oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. I've come a long way from then. But the reason I started doing that is because I knew that I just had to start taking messy action, right? I knew that I had to jump and just grow my wings on the way down. I was channeling other jewels and diamonds that I saw, and I was like, well, they're making training videos, so I should be making training videos. I should be hosting team calls because they're hosting team calls. You guys, my very first team call when I came back after convention, I was so excited. And I was like, I was gonna share my vision, how I was gonna go emerald in a year, and I couldn't wait. And do you know who showed up on that call? It was my mom. Bless her heart. From the other room, we were in the same house, I was visiting her. It was my husband, it was my aunt, and Alita was my guest speaker. You guys, but I treated that call as if everyone was on there, as if my entire team and future team was on there. I spoke on that call as if I was an emerald, as if I was a diamond, because you have to show up as that version of yourself that you want to become. It is not going to be perfect. It is going to be messy. One time on a really huge VIP Zoom call, it was one of my very first ones. I was like, yeah, there's hundreds of people on here. Here's how simple it is to make a pink drink. And I spilled it all over my white shirt. Things like that are gonna happen. And it is okay. But as you do things, you're gonna learn and grow. I've never mixed a pink drink again, ever, on a live call. And so go through these questions, right? And the last one, this is really the key one. Number 4. I want you to star that, highlight that, write it in your notes. If you can ask yourself this question, you are going to grow exponentially. What did I avoid and why? You all have things in your life and in your business that you are avoiding. Call yourself out, right? You don't need a business coach or your upline or a sideline sister to call you out on it, although that is helpful, right? Be your own best coach. These questions will help you to self-evaluate and to be able to coach yourself. okay? John Maxwell says, the more that you do, the more you fail. The more that you fail, the more you learn, and the more you learn, the better you get. Do not be afraid of failure, right? Because it is not the opposite of success. It is just simply a part of it. Be willing to try something new. Be willing to do something scary, even if you're like, I don't know if it's going to work out. A lot of the things that I tried on my way to Diamond, they didn't work out, but I kept adapting. I kept growing. I kept changing things, and I kept asking these different questions. Okay, there we go. Couldn't get the clicker. Okay, part of running after your dreams too, this is another thing that you can add to your tool belt, because you have to constantly be changing your thoughts. If you continue operating out of those old thought patterns, right, you're gonna keep getting those same things. So you have to actively protect your mindset. We have these fighting forces inside of us, right? A positive one and a negative one. And the one that's going to win is the one that you feed the most. What are you feeding your brain? What are you focusing on? Because those things are going to expand. Because you don't have to take these affirmations. This is just an example of some. But I do want you to take your phones out, and I want you to set an alarm on your phone. How many of you were in here last year and you have an alarm set on your phone? Okay, I've run into so many people who still have this alarm set on your phone. So I want you to take your phone out right now. I want you to set an alarm that says, my dreams are possible. And I want this alarm to go off every single day. And I want you to remember this session. And I want you to remember those big dreams that you had in your heart when we closed our eyes. Because you don't necessarily have to believe 100% that you can do it, but you have to start to believe that it is possible. And so set that in your phones and go through when you leave here, and I want you to, every few hours, set some more alarms in your phone. This is something that I do on a regular basis, and I continue to update them because I always need to be managing my mind. And as you are going through and you're doing these things, I want you to think about the other people who are going to be inspired by you running after your dreams. You guys, there are people who are out there who are going to have courage to pursue their dreams because they've watched you run after yours. Don't you dare play small. There are other people who are going to be so inspired by you. But if you play small, if you stay in this little box, think about all of the other people who are not going to be inspired, you guys. Sometimes it's hard for us to do things for ourselves, isn't it? But if you can get out of your own way and you can think about all of those people who are coming behind you, think about your kids, right? Our kids, they have watched our lives radically transform, right? They knew what life was like 7-8 years ago when they were on Medicaid. Now, you know, a few summers ago, we cash flowed a pool, right? Our house, we always said that we wanted our house to be the place where people come, where it's fun, all this different stuff. And we have that now, you guys. There are so many things that you want, that you desire, that you dream after, right? Your kids are watching you. Other people are watching you. Think about them every time that you are scared, right? And also, channel that inner version, that diamond version of you, and think about what would diamond Megan do, right? What would emerald Megan do? Channel that version of yourselves. Sometimes we need something in our lives that's like a physical clue that is going to channel us and tell us, okay, hey, I need to turn it on. What would this person do? For me, you guys, that was earrings. It was big earrings. So when I hit emerald, I actually re-pierced my ears because I saw all of the diamonds around wearing these really big earrings. And for me, I was like, I have to have those big earrings. You can be diamond without having big earrings. So if your ears aren't pierced, take a deep breath, it's gonna be fine. But for me, I started wearing these big earrings, and I would hop on a Zoom call, and it didn't matter how messy I was. Usually I had this messy bun on top of my head, or I'd have a hat or something like that, and I would throw earrings on, and instantly, I was Diamond Megan. And I showed up on those Zoom calls as a diamond long before I was a diamond. Some of you need some physical reminder. Maybe it's a bracelet that you wear. Maybe it's a pair of blue light glasses that you put on when you go to run a Zoom. But sometimes we don't have the confidence yet in order to be able to show up as that version. And so you can use those physical reminders to channel that version. If there's a diamond that really inspires you, ask yourself, what would that diamond do, right? So that's just a little tip. That's something that's really helped me. And if all of you guys go out and buy big earrings, that's going to be fantastic. But just choose whatever it is that's going to help you, remind you to channel that inner version of who you really want to be. And so back to those people who are going to run after their dreams because you had courage. I have a really inspiring story to share with you guys. And this is about my friend Megan. And so far I have not been able to go through this without crying. Megan came here last year as a brand new silver. She came to convention and there was a wall where you could write out what your goals were. And she wrote on that wall, "I will be Ruby." And she made this amazing vision board that says, "Our boldness is attached to someone else's blessing." And then you know what she did? She deleted these pictures, okay? When she found out how many points Ruby was. How many of you guys have ever set a goal and then all of a sudden you started to panic and you're like, there is no way that I'm ever going to hit that? But here's something amazing about your brain. Your subconscious, it doesn't forget, okay? You tell your brain these goals and these dreams, and it is gonna go to work, and it is gonna start finding those things, even when you're doubting yourself, even when you think that you can't do it. And so that is what Megan did. You guys, you have to believe that your business is simply one person away from a completely different business. You have to believe that your life is one decision away from a completely different life. Megan's business changed overnight when Ashley joined her, and Ashley's business changed overnight when Tasha joined her. And I want you three ladies to stand up because they are all here as rubies today. You guys, your dreams are possible. It is not just for the few, right? Anyone can do this if you will set the goals in your mind, if you will draw your line in the sand, if you will show up on the hard days, if you will learn how to manage your mind, if you will learn the skills that you need. You guys, I want you to think about, where do you want to be this time next year at convention? Sometimes a year seems a little far away, but it's actually not, okay? I want you guys all to write down right now, what rank do you want to be when you attend convention in 2025? And I like to do these goals every single month. What is your safe goal? And what is your scary goal, right? Because it's easy to set a goal that you're like, nah, I know that I can hit that, right? But I would rather shoot for a goal that is really big and really scary and not hit it, because you're gonna go so much farther. Every single month, you want to be doing this, right? You want to ask yourself, what is my safe goal and what is my scary goal? Because where there is no vision, the people perish. You have to know what you're running after. Right? You have to set those goals, you have to set those dreams. Otherwise, you're just gonna be wandering aimlessly. And you guys have too much of a purpose, and you were made for so much more to just be wandering aimlessly. And when you're setting these goals, setting a goal is as simple as learning and practicing new beliefs about who you are, right? You have to start to see yourself, right? There was a version of Megan that saw herself as a ruby. Even though there were times that she doubted it, she knew deep down that she was going to accomplish those dreams. And she kept showing up. That's what I'll say about her, right? She had doubt, she had fear, she had all of these things, but she kept showing up. Sometimes it might have taken her a little bit longer to do certain things. There might have been a little bit of a delay, but she was always coachable and she kept going. There is so much power if you just keep going, because the only way to fail truly in this business is if you quit. You may have to adjust the timeline of your goals, but never adjust the goal. Never say this is too hard, I can't do it. It's more like, what skill set do I need to learn in order to get to that place? What version of myself do I need to think about? Who do I need to become along the way in order to reach these goals? And so as you guys are setting those goals, you have your safe goal and you have your scary goal. When you are running after those goals, you need to do something called reverse engineering. This simply means that you are starting with the end in mind and then you move backwards. So if you want to be emeralds in a year, you need to break those down into bite-sized chunks of, okay, in the next quarter, what rank do I need to be at? In this next quarter, what rank do I need to be at? How many golds do I need? How many rubies? And you can get with your jewels and your uplines and kind of break that down into a tangible way. But you have to have these bite-sized goals along the way. And then you also have to have these non-negotiables. Right? So every single month you're doing your safe goals, you're doing your scary goals, and then you are going through those 4 core evaluation questions that we went over. Because if you have these goals, but you don't have a plan, you're simply wishing, and wishes don't work. And something that I see a lot in this business, and the reason that most people fail instead of succeed, is that they trade what they want most for what they want in the moment. Do not give in to the instant gratification. Do not give in to the Netflix and chill. Yes, there are times where you can unplug and de-stress and do all the things, but if you know you have work to be done, do not choose the instant comfort. Your brain is wired to choose comfort every single time. You are going to have to teach it a new way to think, because remember, successful people think differently. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. So say yes to all of the things that are going to get you closer to your goals, and say no to those things that are a distraction. Think about short-term sacrifice, long-term gain. As we were running after our goals and our dreams, there were a lot of sacrifices that we made along the way, you guys, but it was worth it, because right now we are living out our dream life. And so I want you to screenshot this real quick, you guys. These are 4 books that I highly, highly recommend. They are amazing. Success is a Choice talks about how we all have a certain level of talent. And then you're going to come to a certain place where you are going to have to grow that talent and that skill. You cannot simply ride to diamond on talent alone. You are going to have to dig in, and you are going to have to make certain choices to be successful. The Big Leap is all about self-sabotage. How many of you have ever had a really successful month and then all of a sudden things plummet and your world starts falling apart? Okay? Part of that is self-sabotage. You need to learn and figure out what are the things that are stopping you, that are limiting you, so that you can take your life to that next level. Build to Last. You guys need to read this. It is one of the very best books on network marketing that I have ever read. And then The Energy Bus. I read this book in less than 24 hours because it is that good. If you are feeling like you are dragging, like you are uninspired, read this book, listen to it on audio. You can get through it in a few hours. Have these in your tool belt. So when you're feeling down or you're feeling like I need to learn something else, get these books, because leaders are readers. Okay, and now I want you guys to screenshot this real quick. These are very small, tangible things that you can do every single day to master your mindset. And in the book, The Slight Edge, he talks about how, things like this is what successful people are doing. But it seems so simple, right? Start your day with gratitude. Spend 2 to 3 minutes visualizing your goals and who you want to be. Read or listen to something positive for 5 to 10 minutes a day, and do something that scares you. That all seems really simple. How many people feel like they could do this every single day? Okay, it's not that hard, but so many times people, they don't do it because it seems so easy just not to do it. I'll just do it tomorrow. But these things, they compound and they make a huge difference. When it comes to do something scary, I'm going to teach you guys something that I did on my way to diamond. I started this thing, it's called No Fear 15. And in those 15 minutes, I would force myself to do every single scary thing that I didn't want to do. But I knew I only had to do it for 15 minutes. For some reason in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I just have this small window that I have to be really brave, and I can do it for 15 minutes. Because, objects in motion stay in motion, objects in rest tend to stay in rest. So if you aren't doing the scary thing, the hardest part is getting the ball rolling. And I can almost guarantee you that you will do scary things for longer than 15 minutes, but you just have to get it started. So I want you guys to jot down, what was your biggest takeaway from today? You heard a lot of different things, and I want you to jot down just one major thing that you can apply in your life. Because it's not personal growth if you are just consuming knowledge but not putting it into action, right? One thing that you are going to apply when you leave here. And lastly, I want to leave you guys with this. In Les Brown's video, he talks about how you have to believe that you are the one. And I believe that if you are here today, it's because you believe that you are the one. That you are going to be the one who changes your family's lives for generations to come. That you are going to be the one who leaves a legacy for your children's children. That you are going to be the one to grow a thriving, successful business. And so I want you guys to stand up in this room if you believe that you are the one. Okay, and I want you guys to repeat after me on the count of 3. I want you to say, I'm the one. 1, 2, 3. I'm the one. And now I want you to look to the person to the right and say, you're the one. And look to the person to your left and